basically in today's live session, I have decided to teach my clients or fellow baristas how you can easily learn how to test coffee. So I am facing a challenge whereby different people or different clients or baristas are telling me they really can't test coffee or they don't know how to test coffee. How do I get to know this? Whereby most of the clients or most of the customer, after testing your cup of coffee, he or she is going to tell you that this coffee is bad, this coffee is not the same as yesterday's coffee, or this coffee is really sweet, or it's really nice. So this takes me to a point whereby most of us don't know the vocabulary of the terms we are supposed to use while testing our coffee. So basically in this session, it's not going to be basically categorized for the hot beverages or the cold beverages, but I am going to teach you the basics of what you are supposed to get while you are testing coffee in a hot beverage or a cold beverage. It can be an espresso or espresso based beverages like the cappuccino, cafe latte, or americano, and many others. Then we have the craft brews like the Chemix V60, the cold brews, and the different kinds of the drinks that we all know. Even when it comes to the cold drinks, we have the Spanish, we have the lattes, we have the caramels, the caramel macchiato, all those beverages, and we are having a challenge of how we can easily test these drinks. So right in front of me I have, before we get to the testing part, right in front of me I have three basic items that are really going to teach you how to test your coffee. You might be a barista, you might be a customer, but I guess you have these elements. We have the sugar, we have salt, and we have water. Let me put this aside. So these three items really show us what we are supposed to do and how we are supposed to test our coffee. So when it comes to sugar, when we test sugar, most of us know that it's sweet, it has a caramel, it has different attributes of you yearning for more, for more sweet things, especially when you test sugar. So when we test salt, it has the sour part of it, it has the bitter element, it has the acidity, it has the lingering aftertaste, whereby when you test the salt, it's really going to cut your throat, it's going to cut your cheeks, and it's going to cut your tongue. So when it comes to water, unless when your water is not chemically purified, let me say they add chemicals into your water, you are going to find this water tasteless. You get it? When you drink water that is not chemically treated, it's going to be tasteless. So the normal water or the rainwater is supposed to be tasteless. So when we combine these three, we are going to get what we call ORS. Okay, so we are going to create a recipe from these three: the sugar, the salt, and the water, and we are going to create a product called ORS. So where does this lead to? Creating a recipe out of these three. Basically, we are going to look for basic things still, like the body, the taste, the aroma, and the flavors that we are going to get out of the recipe that we have created out of these three beverages. So after testing this, after the attributes that I've told you that you are going to get out of these three elements, then let's get back to our coffee. I think I'll put this aside. Okay, I think I'll leave the water here because I may need to take water. So right now, here I have still coffee. This is a cold brew. This cold brew, I've fermented it, or I've kept it for 1 month because I am looking for the different elements that I want to test out of the coffee. I want to get the body, the aroma, the taste, and the flavors out of this coffee while I am doing what? While I am testing this coffee. So just in case you're watching this video and just in case you are new to this channel, please make it a point to subscribe because more and more and more is coming to your way, most especially about coffee. So I welcome everyone who is watching. Just in case you have anything you want to say about how you can easily test or learn how to test coffee, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below. So let's get to the point. When you ask for a cup of coffee, or when you've gone to a cafe or restaurant or hotel and you get to ask for a cup of coffee, the barista or that person who is going to serve you that coffee, either the waiter, but the barista is the person who makes that coffee, is really going to do what? Is really going to make the coffee. But how are you going to enjoy this coffee? You're going to enjoy this coffee if the barista who has served you the coffee calibrated well their machines. What do I mean by calibration? I think there is a video. I have different videos on how you can easily calibrate your machine. And just in case you're a customer, calibration basically means that it's a reminder of the setting of the. It's like a combination of the previous setting of the machine with the current setting of the machine. So the barista is supposed to calibrate your machine so that he gets to give you the perfect test that you get to enjoy each and every day. I'm not going to talk about calibration a lot, but that is basically what the barista is supposed to do when they get to serve you the perfect coffee that you are testing your coffee. So anytime you get to test this coffee, so we are going to use this cold brew as an example. When we get to test this coffee, me as a barista, I am going to say this coffee, it's creamy, it has a light body, it's kind of bitter aftertaste, then it's lingering, whereby lingering basically means that it stays on the throat for quite some good time. Then it has less acidity with beautiful different flavors. I can say it's kind of woody, it has it's kind of made herbal, it's kind of malty. I think those who have tested alcohol really understand the right term of malty, and it's kind of wine since I've fermented it or I've kept it in the fridge for 1 month. So let's get to the basic point. So when we are testing our coffee, a barista served you a cappuccino, a barista served you an espresso, a barista served you different drinks. What are you supposed to say to the barista, or what elements are you supposed to look for? Every time a customer says this coffee is nice, this coffee is sweet, basically that coffee was perfectly blended by the barista. Let me say it's a cappuccino, let me say it's an espresso. The barista really calibrated the machine very nicely. So when we get to drink these drinks, every time you go to the barista, don't tell the barista that the coffee is bitter, the coffee is sour, the coffee is not like the same. You can easily tell this barista, oh, the coffee is bad. You can easily tell this barista that today I've tested the coffee, but yesterday's coffee was sweet, bitter. It had a nice body, medium body, or it was well-rounded, or it has this flavor and this flavor. And to have a nice perfect taste of this coffee when it comes to the barista, you are going to find that you need to know the type of coffee that you are going to serve to the customer. You need to know where this coffee was grown from, or you need to know how this coffee was processed. Was it washed, natural, semi-washed, or any other different kind of processing your coffee? And how was it roasted? What is the coffee profile of this coffee that you are going to serve to your customer? So any barista out there watching this video, also you need to test your coffee through cupping. I have a video of cupping process that shows you how you can easily cup your coffee as a barista, but you need to follow those things. Where this coffee, the type of coffee, is it specialty, is it commercial, is it Arabica, Robusta, is it another type of coffee? Then you need to know where it was grown, which country, which origin. You need to know how it was processed, and you need to know the coffee profile and how you have to store it. All these are going to help you understand how you are easily going to test your coffee when it comes to the cupping. Especially when it comes to the roast profile, you also need to know when this coffee was roasted. How many days has it spent? How many hours has it spent? Has it degassed properly or not yet? Degassed properly. What time are you supposed to give it, so that you can easily get to understand how the attributes that you're going to get from this coffee. So basically we have terms like, we have the aroma, we have the taste, we have the body, we have the flavors. So when we get to understand the aroma, taste, flavors, what falls under the aroma stroke fragrance? Basically, I won't advise a customer. Sometimes customers want to get the coffee grounds and get to smell them. Any grounded coffee, before it is extracted or before it's brewed, it is called fragrance. The smell that you get to hear from the from that grounded coffee is called fragrance. Then the aroma is that smell that you get to scent in when the coffee is brewed or when the coffee is extracted. Like, let me say the customer has been served an espresso, so that aroma that comes in, or that scent that comes in, we call it aroma. The coffee has already brewed. So the aroma can be boutique, it can be caramelly, it can be spicy, it can be woody, depending on what you feel in your nostrils while you are testing or you are enjoying your coffee. So when it comes to taste, what are we going to look for? We are looking for the bitter part of the coffee, sour, and we're looking for the sweet, we are looking for the aftertaste. So when you look at this tongue, it really means a lot when it comes to testing our coffees. This first part of the tongue, it tests sweetness or the sparkling of the coffee. Sometimes when you test the coffee, you can feel the sweetness here, or you feel the sparkling part of it, just in case you've tested soda water or anything that has sparkles or in it, you feel the sparkles on top of the tongue. Then here comes the sour part of the mid of the tongue. There comes the sour part of the coffee. Sometimes when you eat a raw mango, you are going to feel the sour part of that coffee. Let me say you take a dark roasted coffee and you're used to a medium roasted coffee. When you taste that coffee, it's going to really be sour here on the taste buds of the coffee. So when it comes to this, where the tongue ends from, next to the throat, you are going to feel the bitter part of the you are going to feel the bitter part of the coffee. Then here on the throat, that's where you are going to get the aftertaste. So in the cheeks here, on the walls of the cheeks inside, that's where you are going to feel the acidity of the coffee. Sometimes it's very high, sometimes it's very medium, sometimes it's very, very low. Someone is telling me they are not getting the video, so just in case you are getting a perfect voice or the perfect audio of this video, kindly tell me so that I can either increase or I can either decrease with the video. So let me just forward, let me forward this video to this person. Okay, live, watching, share, copy link, and then we can easily go to test. Okay, click there. All right, so sorry about the delay. So we were still talking about the test. Here we look for the sweetness, bitter part of it, the sour, and the aftertaste, not forgetting the acidity. But all these can have either a mild sweetness, a mild bitterness, a mild acidity, a mild sourness, or even the aftertaste. The aftertaste, this is when you get to taste the coffee and it either vanishes quickly or it lasts long. That's when you hear the barista saying the aftertaste is lingering. So it's still there. It sparkles in the throat. It gets to be bitter. It gets to be sweet. Where all those elements, you are going to find them while you are doing what? While you are testing your coffee. So when it comes to the body, what elements do we look for in the coffee? Sometimes you are going to feel that you are going to feel that the body is either heavy, or it's either medium, or it's either round, or it's either light. All these attributes are in the body. Sometimes you take a cup of coffee and feel like it's really heavy. Have you ever tasted a cappuccino or any other kind of coffee and you feel like it's really heavy on your tongue? I'm not meaning the kind of heavy whereby you get stones and build them onto your tongue, but while you're testing this coffee, you are going to really get the attribute of the heaviness on your tongue, and you're like, okay. So when you test this water, there is a difference. When you test this water, it's going to just pass on your tongue to the throat, and you won't get anything that stays on your tongue. But when you get to drink this coffee, you gain that weight of the coffee, the feel of the coffee when it's getting stranded onto your tongue. So that is the body part of it, or that's the body element of it. So when it comes to flavors, still this is another attribute that we look for in the coffee. When it comes to the flavors, we are looking for the fruit notes. Fruit notes, it's like depending on the way how your coffee was processed, it can be fermented, it can be wet, it can be natural. Most of the times when you test natural coffee, it has more fruit notes than the washed coffee. Because remember, in the washed coffee, the mucilage is washed off the coffee beans or the coffee seeds. So when the mucilage is washed off the coffee, you're going to find that the lesser the fruit notes, the lesser the sweetness. It's kind of going to be lighter than the natural coffee. So in the natural coffee, you are going to feel most of the fruit notes, and you're like, when I taste this coffee, it feels like I am eating guavas, I'm eating fruits like jackfruit, avocado. Most of the fruits, you are going to feel like you are tasting them out of this coffee. So that's where the fruit notes come in. The caramel, it's like caramel is like roasted sugar. So when you taste that roasted sugar, you are going to feel that element of caramel in your coffee. That basically means that this coffee is attributing to you the different kinds of caramel part of the elements that you are going to attribute from this coffee. Then when it comes to herbs, some of the customers are going to say this coffee is bitter, but no, it's not bitter. You can say this coffee is kind of herbal. When you taste the coffee, it's kind of brings that bitter element. It brings the. Have you ever tasted any herbal leaves? In my language, we have a bombo, we have a bluluza, we have different kinds of herbals whereby when you taste these herbals, they get to be bitter on the throat, on the tongue, and everywhere. They tend to be acidic. So that's the character of herbal. Just in case you've not yet tested any herbal, you can try out. I really don't know their English names, but search for a bombo. It's a Luganda and the Ugandan term. They'll bring for you that leaf, or you can search for any herbal medicine. And once you test it, you're going to feel that strength of the what of that herbal. So that's the strength that is going to be applied on your tongue, on your throat when you are tasting a cup of coffee. Sometimes this is caused by the either dark roasted coffee, or it's roasted by the unwanted seeds in the coffee, seeds that was roasted in it. That's when you get to feel like it's nutty, it's a herbal, it's different types. Then when we talk about the malty, this is kind of fermented processed coffee. And when you keep it for quite some time after the brewing or after the extraction, you are going to find that it's giving you that malty taste of the coffee. And once you are weak or you have less strength in your body, once you taste this coffee that has a malty part of it, or when it's winery, you might fall down, or you might get a roundy brain whereby you don't feel yourself. You feel like you're happy, energetic, and dizzy at the same time, whereby I would advise you to drink a cup of water, a glass of water, after doing what? After tasting a coffee that is like that. So basically in this video, I really wanted it to be short, 20 minutes, and I've utilized 18 minutes in this video. So basically this video, I wanted to show you the different ways on how you can easily test your coffee as a barista pro or a professional barista. There are terms that you should stop using as a client, as a barista, or as any other person testing coffee. Stop saying the coffee is bad. Stop saying the coffee doesn't taste like yesterday. Yes, sometimes it can help the barista, but in the vocabulary, the right vocabulary that we are supposed to use, you are supposed to say the coffee tastes bitter, sweet, sour. It has a lingering aftertaste, or it vanishes quickly. It has a light body, it has a medium body, it has a heavy body, it has a well-rounded body whereby every part of your tongue is really tasting a perfect and nice flavor out of this coffee. Then when it comes to the flavors, you can say, I can easily get kind of different flavors. I really can't say them, but you can help me. Which kinds of flavors am I supposed to get out of your coffee? And the barista has to explain to you what flavors your coffee you are trying to test has. So I think basically hope people watching this video can easily get to understand what I am talking about. So basically that was the purpose of this video, whereby you have to learn how to test coffee. And just in case you are new, as I am signing out, just in case you are new to this channel, please make it a point to subscribe. Feel free to share this link to many people as you can, because we need to understand the ethics, the basis, the background of the coffee, and all that is best into this channel, which is Barista Andrea. Feel free to find me on my Instagram and Facebook, page, not forgetting the Twitter account. All are at Barista Andrea. So just in case you want to find me anywhere, feel free to join me on those social medias. And I have started a free class. This free class is going to be for baristas basically, and also customers, whereby you really want to learn something, you have a question, and you really want to get the right answer about coffees, about any other beverages. Please feel free to contact me through the social media, so that I can easily share with you the link and the days when we are going to have these video conferences, so that you can easily meet different baristas. Recently, last week, I had a Zoom meeting with different baristas, and we're going to share different experiences, different kinds of coffees, different things that you missed, just in case you are watching this video. So feel free to text me, so that I can easily share with you the links or the passwords and the ID of the Zoom conferences that we as baristas get to share the different coffee content. So let me wish you a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and a good night wherever you're watching from. And just in case you've not yet tasted a cup of coffee today, please feel free to go buy or make a cup of coffee at your home. Feel free. It doesn't matter what kind of coffee, but it depends on the background of coffee that you are going to test. And when you're buying that coffee from a supermarket, just in case you're home, check the expiry date and when that coffee was processed or produced, so that you can easily get to understand the coffee that you are trying to test. And just in case you have a machine rather out in your house or at your workplace, and you're failing hard to use this machine, feel free to link me up and I'll easily help you. So I think with all that, allow me sign out and wish you the best out of these videos. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment, just in case you have any question or any aspect you want to bring out. And don't forget to join this group, just in case you want to bring up this career in front. We are trying to start up a school, the Barista School, that we are going to be bringing up. Right now it's online. That's why we decided to create the Zoom meetings. Right now it's online, and we are going to share. And just in case you really want to support our step up, just join this channel. It has different bouquets. It has different bouquets whereby you can easily apply to any bouquet that you are capable of joining. The lesser, the happier we are all together. So see you in another video. I sign out. Thanks. Just in case you have any question to the 4 people that I am seeing online, feel free to ask before I sign out. I've given you 1 minute so that we can get to chat. So just in case you are online and you feel like you want to ask any question right now, it's the time. Tomorrow, don't forget, it's a Wednesday, at 11:59 p.m., 1 minute to Thursday midnight, we are having a session, a live session on our Zoom. And I think let me share with you the Zoom password and the Zoom ID where you are supposed to join our meeting. It's going to be a live video meeting whereby you have to share, ask, and feel free to interact with different baristas. And just in case you have any job opportunities, still we can easily share to the different baristas in the Zoom meetings. Then we can easily create opportunities for other baristas. So the Zoom ID, just in case you have joined, it's 61 64 89 68 66. That is the Zoom ID, just in case you want to join. And the password is Restreto5, capital R, small I, small s, TRETTO, then number 5. So just in case you want to join our meetings, feel free. I'll be posting different prior adverts before we get to start our video meetings. So just in case you also want to join our group, we have a Zoom conference group. Still, feel free to reach me out. I sign out. I love you all. Thanks for watching.